The Drive to the Cabin by Weston Gold. They say old cars aren't meant to be trusted, that time relentlessly wears down steel and rubber, and that age forgets how to climb. But those folks never knew the Reatta. You've probably never heard of Reatta, nor had the rare chance of seeing one in the wild. Hand-built in small quantities, like an endangered species, few survive today. There's a certain mystical charm about this car that I just can't quite explain. No, it's not a sports car, it's more like a luxury grand touring coupe. Small, but spacious on the inside. Plenty of room for just the driver and his companion. Mine is Arctic white with soft garnet leather, still breathing stories from a simpler time. When I opened up the driver's door that evening, the scent rose up like a memory, clean, supple, and unmistakably Buick. The kind of smell that tells you someone once cared enough to build something slowly, carefully, by hand. A storm was crawling over the ridgeline when I turned the key. The engine jumped into action like she'd been just waiting for someone, anyone, to turn the key. Like a big cat stretching awake, she purred a low rumble of contentment. I backed her out slowly, listening to the rain begin its conversation with the windshield. Wipers steadied. Climate control keeping the perfect cabin temperature as though she was brand new. We took the canyon road, the one that winds higher and higher into the mist, like a question. Most cars would have begged for mercy, but not the Reatta. She took every corner like a whisper, firm, confident, the steering tight and precise, allowing instant feedback from the road. But it was like I wasn't really driving her, but simply guiding her as she eagerly anticipated every turn. At times, it seemed like we weren't even touching the road, like the Reatta hovered just a few inches above the pavement, gliding through the storm and glowing like something sent from another world. Her suspension so smooth, her presence so steady, it was almost otherworldly. Like a spacecraft in disguise, wearing that distinct Reatta badge, carefully placed on the hood by a human. An elegant machine built by dreamers. Suddenly, I realized why I resonated with her. The Reatta was ahead of her time, misunderstood when new, yet steeped in old-world opulence. A nonconformist, never quite fit in, but now the world is finally catching up. She feels like a hand-built artifact from the future we never got. Rain fell harder. Thunder climbed into the pines. The night turned black and wild. But inside the Reatta, it was warm and cozy. Not one drop dared to sneak through anywhere. I ran my hand across the dash and whispered, "Good girl." And I swear, she growled back, soft and proud. Then came the pop-up headlights. Click! And those elegant eyes blinked open. They cast twin beams through the storm, like they were searching for something, for someone. And wouldn't you know it, we found it. A cabin. High on the ridge with its porch light glowing like it had been expecting us. The Reatta pulled in and sighed, the engine humming gently in the quiet. Her pop-up headlights going down with a horrendous thud, closing her eyes as if to say, "Time for sleep." I stepped out and the rain paused, just for a moment, as if to say, "Welcome home." Inside, the firewood was stacked. The stove was still warm. And in the corner, I saw something strange out of the corner of my eye. What I saw shocked me. Half forgotten were rolled up blueprints, rolled with dust and dreams. Reatta design sketches. The original kind that takes up an entire table when you lay them out, with pencil notes from engineers who still believed in beauty. I realized that my old car and this old cabin actually had something in common. A time when things were still built by true craftsmen with human hands. Hands worn and weathered by all they'd carried and painfully forged, shaped by quiet resolve. I stood there for a long while, thinking, maybe some machines really do have souls. This drive had had a profound impact on me. The drive was not just a drive, it was a journey back to a time of American luxury and meticulous attention to detail. Back to a time when steel was filed by hand to perfection, and logs were still hand-hewn. It was like being transported through time and space in something more like a spaceship than a car. The sensation was almost dizzying, like I had traveled through some portal to another world. She got me here safe. She brought me through the storm. And like always, the cabin was waiting. And this time, so was the Reatta. Out here where the trees hush your name and the sky forgets time, there's a cabin. It's not big. It's not new. Not loud. But it waits. And so do we. You're safe now. You're home. Sleep well. Dream sweet. And remember, friend, night sounds will always be here, waiting for you.